8.5 days, whatever. Christmas is popping up really quick here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the No Sauce Podcast here on another Tuesday night. Here with John and Danny again. Christmas is coming up. Less than, what is that, 9 days now? 8 days? We'll say 8.5 days, whatever. Christmas is popping up really quick here around the corner, and 2026 is right around the corner too. Jeez. Crazy how time's moving.
Yeah. Times, tell me about it. I mean, now, Christmas is a little bit different as a grandfather than it is a father, right? Like, as a father, you got all kinds of plans throughout the night. I mean, I don't know about what you guys do, but, I used to, throw rocks on the roof to make the kids think they were reindeer and all kinds of, silly stuff like that, and the bedtime stories. And obviously that'll segue into, one of our deals. But yeah, as a grandfather, it's like, see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll come cook some stuff and give you guys some presents and all that stuff. I got to get up at a decent hour. And I used to clown on my kids. I used to one up them and say, I'm going to wake you up. So I used to wake up my kids at like 3:30, make them open presents, and then I go take a nap. But I digress.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't even think we do the early morning thing. I think Coop doesn't get us up, and we sleep in a little bit, and then he gets up, opens some presents, and then it's breakfast, and it's go to my parents for Christmas, and that's about it. So yeah, it's, I don't know,
Low-key.
Pretty much, just because it's basically all the big stuff. I don't want to say all the big stuff, but like most of it's done up at my parents' house. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It's not like. The other thing is he doesn't have any siblings, so that, kind of changes things and how he approaches it, because, his other siblings will be waking him up and brushing down to see their presents and things like that.
Sure.
He said, well, we did when I was growing up. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's a little bit more vanilla for us because we don't travel anywhere except to go to my parents in South Jordan for Christmas, and like my family, it used to be, we would either go to St. George to visit my grandma and grandpa. We would go to California, with my aunt and uncle, or they would come to our place and be a whole different shebang. So I don't know. It's a little different now as an adult, I feel like. So
absolutely.
John's got 4 kids, so he has a little different than we do.
Yeah, dude,
I get that. I got 3.
It's fun to say the least. Yeah, no, with us, we allow the kids to come upstairs and like hang out in our room. And like when my wife and I are like fully awake, normally 7:30, 8 o'clock, we'll finally like march out and allow them to go look at stuff. But this year it's gonna be different. We have made a impromptu decision to go out of town, to drive out to Wichita to see family. That's
You're driving to Kansas.
We are. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You're gonna. Christmas vacation, dude. You're just traveling the other way, right? You better document that, John. That's gonna be gold. Like honestly, seriously. Those are gonna be memories those kids have forever, man. Like absolutely, no matter what happens, it's from their point of view, it's gonna be great.
It's not the same anymore because most of the time spent in the car, they're like this.
I get it. But there's still going to be trigger moments that they remember. Absolutely. But yeah, that's it definitely is a different time for sure.
No, but it should be fun. So we're going to end up opening most of our presents up Sunday night, just so that it's like done, over with. If they want to take stuff with them on the trip, great. If not, whatever. We are going to strap a couple totes to the back of the old proverbial station wagon and have a few gifts for them to open up out there. But
yeah, you're gonna have the family, the cruiser, man. Yeah, absolutely, good times. I love it. Yeah,
we've got one of those one of those baskets that like
Oh
hooks
yeah,
into like
and there's a hitch.
trailer hitch, and
Yeah,
so we just got the Costco, tote specials, whatever, filled with, like whatever. Santa Claus is still gonna make visits out there. So
yeah,
if there's any little kids, keep believing in Santa Claus. He's a
yeah.
great dude,
He
Yep.
is.
or person, woman, whatever.
He'll end up in Wichita for sure. We can guarantee
Mhm.
that, right, John?
Yep.
Yes, that's great.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we decided this week we're going to change it up a little bit. I hate saying the word yeah, that doesn't sound good. But we decided we're going to like have a little bit of a structure here to this episode, because all we've done for the past 2.5 months is talk about college football and college football playoff. And so we're going to have some debates tonight on this, healthy debates. And we're going to break this up into chapters on the video. So you'll be able to go to the one that you want to listen to the most. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we'll end up with a Christmas type segment at the end.
Mm.
But the first debate that we're going to start, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? I'm always going to say MJ because he was like during my youth and my era. And I mean, there's just nobody like him. Is the game different today? Absolutely. 6 championships, 6-0 in the NBA finals every time he got, he never lost the NBA finals.
Never went to a game 7.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and he
He
finished up
pushed.
his career with the Wizards, but like he
Huh.
didn't jump
Byron
teams.
Russell. I knew we were going to get to that, but go ahead. Yeah, we'll
I'm
get
just
to
saying,
that,
like,
John. Go ahead.
he didn't jump teams to make
No.
championship teams, right? He stayed in Chicago and played with the card that he was dealt.
And even stayed in Chicago to play baseball. But go ahead.
Yeah, with the Sox, right? So, or in the Sox organization. But like, it just, there was a majesty to his game that I don't know. I think I just, it was a different era of basketball than it is today, and I'm an MJ guy all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So
You mean Mr. Chicago's a Chicago Bulls
it
basketball
has
player
nothing to
fan?
do with the Chicago
Huh.
thing. I was never a Bulls fan. I just think, as a sports fan, as a basketball guy, that likes basketball, good basketball, Michael Jordan. If I had to choose one or the other, it would be Michael Jordan every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Mm.
John?
What's your take, Danny?
No, I'd like you to go now.
Oh no, because I'm going to take this conversation. We're not going to be structured today. Kyle
No,
thinks we are, but
that's why I want you to go. Yeah, I definitely, because the Utah Jazz were really good in the late '90s. So yeah.
I miss those days, right? They were fun, and Michael Jordan certainly crushed Utah's spirits a couple times, and one of them, I mean, even to this day at the Delta Center, one of the Wi-Fi connections is, what was it? Jordan pushed off or something like that. Like, it still calls it out, right? But I think that's just, I mean, it's part of the games. It was a missed call, whatever. But no, I mean, his airness. I personally, I'd put him at the top. I hate this conversation because there's a large part of me that's like, well, where's Kobe in all this? I have Kobe in over LeBron all day and twice on Sundays. You look at an unmatched work ethic and drive that Kobe has over LeBron. I hate basketball now. If I'm being 100% honest, I am sick and tired of this soccer mentality and flopping, and
NBA.
like it's just become a prissy show. That's why I will always go back to the older basketball players. They are, the epitome of elite athletes, right? They didn't have all the science that we have now. The science that Michael Jordan had was Gatorade. That was it, right? I mean, there's probably more behind it, right? But
Good
Like
genes.
everything now is like, it's just there's too much analytics and too much like Michael Jordan didn't sit out road trips to get feeling better. You know how many times LeBron has come to the state of Utah and sat on the bench because I don't really want to play. It's high altitude. I don't want to stress my body. Blah 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 blah. One thing or another. Like Michael Jordan was there every game. He was competing every single game. So you know he didn't have to fake his hairline or anything like that. He was true to himself and he was dominant and he was going to get in your face. Could he have done it without Pippen and uh, what's his face?
Rodman,
Yeah,
Kuka,
Rodney,
Steve Kerr, B.J.
Horace Grant, all
Armstrong,
them. Yeah,
Cartwright,
no,
Horace
you know,
Grant. Yeah.
Horace Grant.
yeah, no chance, right? He had his chess pieces that allowed him and that team for multiple years to be great. LeBron stat wise, oh yeah, top stats, but those stats are not indicative of how good he is versus somebody. How many times has LeBron won out MVPs and that kind of stuff? Other players, like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and all them. That wasn't the case back in the NBA. He lost it a time or two, I think once to Karl Malone for the NBA Finals MVP. But I just look at how dominant he was, hands down. Conversation done, ended, whatever. At least in my book.
Well, and going back to your point, I mean, you think about the league that he played in too. I mean, you had the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas and
The Knicks,
Bill Laimbeer, the Knicks with Ewing, with
The
Patrick.
East was tough, man. The East was the
You
conference
had
back
Reggie
then,
Miller
dude.
with
The
the
East were
Pacers
beasts, man.
there. The Cavaliers were good with Brad Daugherty and Craig Elo and those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some. Wow, Dominique Wilkins was with the Hawks.
Hawks, yeah.
The Supersonics back then had Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Detlef. This was a good NBA. Like, this was a league, right? I mean, and you went and played the Pistons, whether it was in Detroit or whether it was in Chicago. You knew you were getting clobbered if you went down that
Down
path.
the
Dude, back half of the 80s through the entire 90s and the early 2000s, best era in NBA basketball, man. Like, and that started with the Dream Team, really. I mean, obviously they started balling, tough here in the United States, but when they went overseas and in 92, that was, that's what put it over the top. But yeah, as far as, I mean, the way basketball is now against basketball today, their basketball back then is totally different, right? Yeah, but Michael Jordan was far and above everybody's expectations of what the game should be, and he put it over the top. And I put him up against anybody except for Kobe Bryant. He walked in Jordan's shoes, and I used to be a Kobe hater, even though my son's named after him. But he's not actually named after him. It just seems like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely Michael over.
I don't think it's even close when it comes to who's right there with Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant is right there, right? Like that's not a debate. I think it's me just seeing it all over Twitter and all over YouTube and videos and all this other stuff where people are trying to compare the two, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Like, it's not even a comparison. LeBron James is great, but there's a mentality that Michael Jordan had during his playing days, and even now as a businessman, that like LeBron doesn't have, right?
Yeah.
And that's just my thought, and like size-wise, athleticism-wise, maybe talent-wise, maybe LeBron is better that way, but Michael Jordan took advantage of all his tools in a way that's unmatched outside of maybe Kobe's work ethic.
100%. He was a winner. That's all there is to it.
And you go back to the Dream Team, that 92 Dream Team, like they scorched everybody, right? They scorched everybody. Yeah, the international games got better, but like
Lithuania was good.
But he's the reason why the international game got better.
Right.
Like you think about what he did to the
team that had Kobe, LeBron, Dwayne, Dwight Howard, all those guys that were the superstars during that time. They would have gotten smoked by that 92 team, and it's not even like close.
Well, hold on. with 90s, early 2000 refs or 2025 refs?
Don't get me started on the whole Oklahoma City things that I see every.
Pre-gambling, post-gambling, that's a totally different thing. So yeah, we'll move on.
I like,
No blood, no foul, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
oh, crazy.
So we agree.
Yes, we agree. Michael
Not
Jordan.
much of a debate, but again, I personally, Kobe for me is number one. If I'm being 100% honest, because you look at the game was transitioning from when Michael was playing to Kobe's later years, and he was there evolving with that game. Versus LeBron comes in at the tail at like the very, like, I don't know.
Leave LeBron out of it. I just want you to tell me how you think Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan when he was basically a photocopy of Michael Jordan. I love Kobe, but he's not himself without Michael Jordan.
Well, and let's be real too. Kobe, I put Michael Jordan, then I put Kobe.
Yeah,
but
me
like
too.
Kobe had Shaq, and Kobe had a couple other guys that were on that Lakers team throughout those years that they were dominant. So both players, both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, had the role players, right? The key role players they needed to get over that hump. Derek Fisher was good. Who else was on that team?
Yeah.
Then they brought in Pau Gasol to take over for Shaq, and they won an NBA
Well,
title.
you have Robert Ory there for a year. You also had the dude with the Jerry curl.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Yeah, and dude, it's several players. You have to win championships,
players,
but
right?
that's a discussion. That's a Bulls Lakers discussion. We're just talking about players, right? So we got a lot to cover in this show. So I think that's might be a discussion for
that might be another discussion because I mean, I think both Kobe and Michael Jordan were feared when they stepped on the floor. Like
100%.
people feared both of them.
Yep.
So how do you determine who's better? And the thing is, maybe we could say they're equals because I mean Kobe played high school basketball in Chicago, Lower Merion High School. So he's a Chicago product. I don't know. It's that's
a better discussion than LeBron Michael because I guarantee you, I mean, it's Mike every time.
Yeah. Good point. All right. Next topic. This will be an interesting one. We might all be in agreement on this one too. I'm very interested to see what these two say. MLB, Major League Baseball record that will never be broken.
We're going to that. Okay.
I'll go with Danny to start this one off.
Oh, you want me to start this one off? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, I think if we're talking about this discussion, we have to talk about there's certain parameters, right? Like, so first of all, we can't take any ancient pitching records into discussion, like most complete games, because dudes like we're throwing 40 complete games in a year.
Well,
back in the 20s and 30s, right?
I think that's part of the discussion, though. You know, I think because the game has changed, those are reasons why some of those pitching records will never.
We could if we want to talk about that, we could come up with 40 different pitching records that will never be broken. Is what I'm getting at.
One record that you think will never be broken. I don't care about all of them. I just want one that you think will never be broken because there's a bunch that'll never be broken. What's one specific that you've always thought about that would never be broken?
Well, I just thought about, like I said, dude, like there's a bunch, but I'll just, if you want me to throw one out there, I'll tell you one that I guarantee you will never be broken. And I don't bet on shit, but I would bet on this is 2 grand slams in 1 inning by Fernando Tatis.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No
way it's ever happening.
Ricky Henderson's stolen base record.
130 steals in a season.
I'm talking just career-wise. It's just like 1,400 stolen bases. Okay, if you steal 50 bases in a season, that's 28 seasons that you need to get there.
Yeah.
No way that's happening. Especially with like the ability of catchers nowadays. No way you're stealing 50 plus bases for 28, 29 seasons. No shot.
Well, that and the emphasis on what is it? The
the
More
pickoff rule,
for
right?
power,
Like
but,
there's still, even with the bigger bag and the step off
Mhm.
rule, there's nobody. Dude, Henderson, 130 stolen bases in one season, dude.
yeah.
Yep.
That there's people that won't do that, and the best guys in the league won't even get there. So yeah, that's an
That's the thing,
absolute
though, too.
obvious one.
There's so much emphasis on 40-40 guys, right? Or whatever. And it's like, well, that's great. That's a good that's a great season. But like you said, somebody stole 130 bases one year.
Yeah.
Like that's nothing compared to what some of the
Absolutely. Oh, great record. Yeah, great record. We'll never see anything like that. Our kids will never see anything like Ricky, dude. Where's Ricky going? Ricky's going to second, man. That's where Ricky's going.
well,
He's gonna swing
and-
by third.
What you
yeah.
got, Kyle? What you got, Kyle?
I've always, and I think you guys know this, and you'll be in agreement with it. Cal Ripken's
Mhm.
consecutive game started streak will never, ever, ever, ever be broke. That's like a set in stone record. Well, I can't remember what it was.
26-32. 26-32.
Yeah.
I know where I was when he broke the record, dude. Yeah,
That
that's a
was in
great
fourth
one.
grade.
Yeah.
I was
2,632
a little bit older.
consecutive games played,
Mhm.
right? And I mean, that's just, it'll never, because of injuries now, so much emphasis on power and strength, and
Mhm.
Load management.
can't play. I mean, how, if we divide that up, like, what is that? How many consecutive years?
I don't have a calculator.
16 and a quarter seasons that you'd have to play.
Wow.
Hey,
Now,
man.
granted, you only need to play 5.5 innings of every game.
Yeah.
But still, you're not going to get that out of guys playing.
Well, here's another. I mean, we've talked about some of the most important ones, obviously. But dude, the Nolan Ryan 7 no-hitters, dude.
Yep.
Damn.
Well,
there's no way. I mean, you don't even got dudes that like want going back to complete games, dude. You're gonna have guys that don't even throw 7 complete games in their career, let alone 7 no-hitters, man.
Plus, the starting pitchers that could do that now are starting to get older, right? They're starting to finally get to the ends of their career. I mean, Verlander, Kershaw, Jacob deGrom, who's always hurt, Max, Scherzer. Those guys were guys that would go forever in games. Jonathan Sale was another guy that could go deep in games, but he's always hurt nowadays. I don't. Analytics has ruined that opportunity. Not that anybody would ever throw 7 no-hitters in a season anymore, because it's a hitter's game, right? And especially with the new tap, strike zone that's coming into Major League Baseball. What Nolan Ryan did, what is it, what they call them, the Express?
Yeah, the Ryan Express, dude. Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't even. It's kind of. I mean, we got to bring it up, or it's going to be disgraceful. We haven't talked about hits with DiMaggio or Rose, dude. 56 games in a row, and Pete Rose is 42-56, dude. That ain't getting touched either, man.
That brings up those two things. Okay, and this is going to get completely off topic, and I'm just going to keep it quick. But there's no reason Pete Rose shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame at this point.
Well, that's a player and a coach. That's kind of two different discussions, right?
Like, he should have been in that thing a long time ago.
Mhm.
Especially now when you're looking at some of these guys that were as part of the Balco investigation or whatever, or Balco report. Like, some of those guys are even getting in. Like, put Pete Rose. Like, Pete Rose needs to be in. The other piece to that's unthinkable. Nolan Ryan throws those 7 no-hitters. No Cy Young award.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
So that should lead us right into the baseball player conversation, right, Kyle? That's a good segue. That's what they call that.
It's a transition, segue.
Segue, transition.
The segue into our favorite baseball player of all time.
Yes. And we'll start with you, Kyle, because you need to lead one here.
Yeah, you can't pick up the scraps.
Well, I can always pick up the scraps. That's what I do. Favorite baseball player of all time. Oh, that's a tough one. Are we talking? Let's put a parameter on it. Let's say it's.
Well,
You're the person that gave out the
I
topic.
know.
I
So
got a whole discussion on mine, so go ahead and do you because I got a few minutes on mine.
Well, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of.
Look back to the childhood, Kyle. White picket fences, Cub banners, and all that kind of nice stuff.
I didn't even think about this before we started the recording, just because I just didn't. I don't know. I mean, that's hard. I mean, if I'm being true to myself, like it's Ryan Sandberg was my favorite player of all time, and
I was going to say.
I used to, even though I'm not a second baseman, I'm not right-handed, so I don't play the infield except for first base.
I thought you were going to go Grace, but yeah, all right.
No, when I first came up, I shouldn't say when I first came up. When I started playing baseball, I tried to emulate his batting stance. You know, the closed stance.
Oh yeah,
with the bat up high and the shoulder in, and you could see the back of the jersey. I tried to do that. But then, I saw Ken Griffey Jr. swing with the left-handed, and I'm, left-handed, hitting a pony league fence. It was like 200 feet away, and I'm hitting balls onto the yards up on the houses, across the street, and, standing there watching it. And so, I mean, it started with Ryan Sandberg, then it became a Ken Griffey Jr. because I played outfield. I was left-handed, and I didn't have his sweet swing with the elbow, tipping. But I mean, I had that stand and watch my home runs go when I knew I hit him. So, yeah, Ryan Sandberg he's a Cub, right? Like this, and it's a guy that I watched on WGN when we lived in Chicago, and then when we first moved out here to Utah. So I got to watch him play, all throughout his career. And, it's sad that he passed away this year due to cancer. Some of those memorials, man, and some of the videos put out about him, this summer after he passed, it's just amazing. Like it just
go Rhino. Yeah, no, yeah, Rhino.
And I have his jersey too. Like I have his authentic jersey. So,
cool.
But then Ken Griffey Jr. I was a Mariners fan, as much as I was a Cubs fan during those years with Ken Griffey Jr. in Seattle. Had a couple of Mariners hats, and that kid, I don't know. There's just something special about the kid. I hated when he went to Cincinnati. I think that changed my view of him. But I know that's where his dad played, and they played together and stuff like that. So Ryan Sandberg started off, and then Ken Griffey Jr. Became one of my favorites. So
all right,
let's hear yours, Mr. Danny.
I mean, this is going to take me a little bit. Because I have to break it up in segments, like you were saying. I mean, there's, I've been a baseball fan since 2-3 years old. So, what I remember, kind of like you, Kyle, WGN, TBS, TNT, watched a lot of Brave games. I did like Ryan Sandberg and the Cubs a little bit just because I watched them. I was exposed to them. But first of all, this is where I became a Braves fan at my grandma's house, watching in those powder blues back in the day. The only thing good about the Braves was Dale Murphy, right? And it's really a shame that Dale Murphy's not in the Hall of Fame. And I know he lives right there in your guys' backyard. And Dale Murphy's a great dude, absolutely. And it's a shame he ain't in the Hall of Fame. But he was my first, like, when I remember just like liking baseball players, he was my first favorite baseball player. But like I said, the Braves weren't very good. So then in the mid to late 80s, 87, 88, right in there, being a Niner fan, just kind of fell in love with the Giants for a little bit. When I don't know if it was the first time my parents could afford it or when they first started coming out with them, like in Little League, when you got the baseball cards, you could put your stuff on the back, how tall you were, what your eye color was, and who your favorite player was. So my first favorite player that I remember putting on a baseball card was Will Clark.
Will Clark, yeah.
Will Clark was my first favorite player, and I love watching him on podcasts now because that dude don't give two shits. He's a lot of fun. He really is. And so that was my first guy, just being full disclosure. And then as I grew a little bit the next year or so, my second favorite player, being an Atlanta fan once again, I love Deion Sanders. He was my second player on the back of my baseball card. And obviously, two-sport athlete, being in Atlanta, loved how that was going on. So then, as I grew, being a Braves fan, Andrew and Chipper Jones. Chipper, was a dude that stood up for something great. Andrew, I loved his nonchalantness, just running through the outfield and whatnot. So, and then Ken Griffey Jr. It just watching him. I remember getting his rookie card, which was worth $50 back in the day. And his upper deck card in '91 was just the coolest thing ever. And hats backwards, man. That was cool. That was the thing back then, and love watching him, play. But as I, mowed through all those in my years of just being, loving baseball, it goes back to a couple of dudes. First and foremost, I love just balling out, diving head first, sliding. Obviously Pete Rose was what that was called, right? And even a friend of mine, Trent Simshauser, he might watch this podcast. He actually hurt his knee trying to do Pete Rose in the canned food store up in our town, just because that was so popular, and we would practice that for hours, sliding this way, sliding that way, and it was kind of a nuance at the time. But just what Pete Rose stood for as a baseball player was how I was coached as a kid. Charlie Hustle, just go out there and leave it all on the field. You're just a small white dude, whatever, and just go leave it on the field. But as a shortstop and as a middle infielder, I would have to say the guy I tried to emulate my game as much as anybody else would be the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith.
Yeah, the things he was able to do, I didn't care back in the day. I know I'm old now and I don't move real great, but guys, once in the day I would dive for anything. I didn't care what was in the way, whether it was a fence, a rock clod, or a 350-pound dude. I'm gonna go get that shit. And so yeah, Ozzie Smith, Pete Rose, probably going to lean a little bit towards Ozzie Smith.
Nice. Oh, the wizard that did the backflip, taking the field at times.
Yeah. That's a great ball player.
Yeah.
What's funny, so going through all the list of players, I mean, I don't think there's a single player that ever played the game in the last 40 years that either of you two didn't list. So kind of defeats the purpose of picking your favorite if you're naming 30 people, but that's okay.
Bite me.
No, just kidding. About Ozzie.
There's a lot more dudes. There's a lot more baseball players.
I saw an interview that he gave about how he prepares, and basically they basically blindfolded him and took him to different parts on the field. They started him out where he normally would, and then they would walk him certain steps, and they'd give him a ball and he would throw it right to second base. And he's like, he was a student of the game, knowing where he was on the field at all times, where he didn't have to look and he knew where to throw. I mean, just amazing. Like, certainly I emulate that. The other side of the bag, though, one of my favorites was Roberto Alomar and his ability to, and I still to this day, I learned as a second baseman that ball in the hole between second and first base, instead of trying to take a direct line to it, take that deep, in-depth, angle at the ball, kind of slide feet first, field it off to the side, pop up and make that throw to first. I still just remember between those two, and then you get into like the Derek Jeters of the early 2000s, as I was getting a little bit stronger and stuff, and like learning how to like play different positions and advance my game. Watched a lot of Sports Center in the morning, and those were the guys I looked up to. Obviously Chipper Jones, Cal Ripken, all those guys, but yeah, I mean, if I got to put it on one, I would probably say, I'm gonna throw a curveball in here, Mike Piazza.
What? Sorry.
He's a Dodger, so, and then he became a Met. So it makes
what?
sense.
Not a mention about catchers. Like, you would think your short ass would have caught some point, because like, hey, just put this little dude behind the plate. He's got to block balls, but no, I'm a second baseman.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I actually caught growing up,
the
and
college catcher.
and
Catcher probably.
one of the coolest traditions. So my dad coached me for a couple of years, and every year that he coached, at the end of the season, he would give out a baseball card to each like person on the team, of like a player that like reminded him of us. And so I caught in my younger years, and so I got the Mike Piazza. And me being a Dodger
There you
fan,
go.
like that was so cool because it was a Dodger catcher that would also put up numbers, on the offensive side of things. I wasn't hitting home runs, but it was like you could count on him going both ways, and that was always fun. That was always fun. So I could name off another 50, 60 players.
No, that's good.
Um,
I only
That's
named
good. I like
two. You
that.
guys went off with like 3 or 4 or 5 guys. I went
you
with
need more than two.
no. I did Ryan Sandberg and Ken Griffey Jr. Period.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it was Danny
Yeah.
that was throwing names into your discussion.
Was. It could have been. It could have been. Hey, that's something near and dear to my heart, man.
Okay. Next thought process.
I feel like we're on an episode of like PTI.
We kind of
That's
Yeah,
Just get
great.
the little,
No, that's
get the little
that's
slider on the
perfect.
side to like drop down.
if I knew the software, some people have that software where they have like little tabs that kind of show while they're going down through it.
Kyle, just
I don't
write
know
it on a paper and like hold it on the screen. It's just
Yeah, I should.
I'll just put it back here by the duck. Just put it right up here, dudes.
next segment.
What bowl game, if you go to any of them, would you go to in a heartbeat?
John, lead it off. You have
Super
run
Bowl.
off for a minute.
The
Super Bowl,
Bowl?
dumbass.
Super Bowl.
We're talking about college bowl games, not the Super Bowl.
Super
dumb.
Bowl. He just hit you with the changeup, dude.
He did. He threw the split finger.
I'm gonna go with the Shreveport, Indiana Lions bullshit bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Yeah, I remember the context. We can't just choose which. Are we talking about this year?
No,
like which
just in
bowl game we'd like to go to
general.
this year, or just
Yeah.
in
In
general?
general, right? In general.
Yep.
I would think this time of year you got to go to a destination, like somewhere where it's going to be a little bit warmer. It's not going to be so whatever. Like I don't want to go freeze my butt off at Yankee Stadium watching a couple mid-tier Power 4 conference
Do you want
teams.
to go to the Pinstripe Bowl? Why not?
Number one, it's Yankee Stadium. Like that's a cathedral. Like even though it's new, it's still like something to be respected. But no, I don't want to go there. Not at all. I've always wanted to go to the Sugar Bowl. Just big teams, big matchups, important games. In Louisiana, I've never been to Louisiana. I'd love to go. I know there's some pageantry, some fun and games and stuff. I would probably say there. I want to see guys out there competing for something. And to see some big name teams going up against each other. Multiple future NFL players in that bowl game. Yeah, that's where I'd want to go. That or the Rose Bowl.
I like it. Danny?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to a bowl game, so let's just preface that, right?
Yeah,
like,
that makes 2 of us. 3,
yeah.
maybe.
You haven't been to the famous Idaho
Potato Bowl? I mean, yeah. I mean, you can watch that on a Tuesday during the regular season, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the Rose Bowl, right? Like, I mean, how can I not say the Rose Bowl? I mean,
granddaddy of them all.
I mean, yeah. Why would you not say the Rose Bowl, right? Like, that's all those other bowls would be cool, but Rose Bowl, first of all, because you probably have some kind of stock in the team, whether you hate them or love them. As a West Coast fan, that's something that's cool. It's reachable, it's feasible. So the granddaddy of them all. But other than that, I would say honestly, like the one game I would really like to be able to attend, just America, Army Navy, man. It's the kickoff of bowl season. I mean, I know it's not a bowl game, but gosh dang, I would love to be at the Army Navy game. I think that would be something super, super special.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
pageantry of that game. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I watched that entire game on Saturday,
100%.
and
I
man,
mean, with the president, say what you want about whatever president is in office, but for him to be in attendance, to go, you spend half the time on one side, pageantry to go to the other side. I mean, it's just America, dude. Like all about it. It
America.
was really weird with the chippiness on the field at the end. You usually don't see that because
right?
at the end of the game, we're all on one team. That's the way those games have always been. Those armed forces games, that was kind of interesting, but that's good. I mean, that means they're interested about they're invested in playing the game and wanting to win the game, and that's different, I think. But I think the Army Navy game would be something special.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I agree. I'm gonna stick with you on the Rose Bowl. I think that's the one I would choose to go to if I had the chance, right? Like we talked about it a couple of years. Was it a couple of years ago? I don't know how long ago it was, but me and my parents, I think my dad and some of the family from Indiana that we have that are Purdue fans, I think Purdue was in it, and we talked about going out there one year. But yeah, I mean, just the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Parade, all of it, I mean, it's just amazing, and it seems like it's always good weather for it too. Like it's just beautiful. So
Well,
there's
and
that.
to think what it used to be though, Kyle, is like it was the best coast. It was the best team from the West Coast against the best team from the Big Ten,
Yeah.
and like yeah, it meant something, right?
Well,
And
that's what was
having
great
lived,
about that's what was great about last year when they played it, when it was Ohio State and Oregon, even though, sorry, Danny, it turned out not to be a competitive game,
Yeah, would
but,
have been
like,
great.
you had that Big Ten, old Pac-10 type deal. So, yeah, I mean, that's one I I I used to wanna go to the Orange Bowl, but that was when it was at the Orange Bowl. It wasn't at
Mhm.
Hard Rock Stadium or whatever because, man, I just watching I used to so I have Legos. And I used to try to build Lego stadiums that kind of emulated that old Orange Bowl with the low deck and then the upper deck. And like there was just something about it, the mystique. You watch those 30 for 30s on the U, and when they talk about it being tore down and that mystique just being gone now, uh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a big one. Cotton Bowl was the same way. If they were still playing it at the old Cotton Bowl Stadium
Yep.
instead of AT&T, it'd be the same way. And the Fiesta Bowl, not playing it at the Cardinal Stadium, but playing it at Sun Devil Stadium where they used to have it.
I
There's,
mean the old Boise State Oklahoma game, right? Like that's where the argument for the Power Five or the Group of Five came from.
yeah, but that
Well,
was
and it
played, that was
was
played at the Arizona Cardinals State Farm Stadium or whatever you call it.
Okay,
So
yeah,
yeah.
Fiesta Bowl.
yeah, I mean, it's just the Rose Bowl is at the top of the list. There's no ifs ands or buts about that. The Rose Bowl is the top of the list. It might have
It,
been cool to go to one of those Las Vegas bowls back in the day when the WAC and Mountain West were, that was BYU, Utah, all that stuff.
If you're invested locally, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously, yeah. And that was, I mean, Oregon, once we first started to make bowl games back in the Bellotti days and the Kenny Wheaton days, it was like we could make it to the Independence Bowl. Like, yeah.
And,
Like that was
and that was
big
in
time.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
I feel like there wasn't as many bowl games back then either, though.
Mm.
Well, there was, yeah, you didn't get
There
half the field that made it to the bowl games
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things like
there
that. But
there were a lot of them, but they had traditional names. Now every single one of them is a sponsor.
sponsored.
Like, let me
And
read
they
off some of
changed.
these.
If you went to Florida for like, or you went to like Florida, Georgia, that area for like a week, you could catch like 6 different bowl games, eat one a day, right? Like I
That's
think
spring
there's
training.
like Citrus, there's the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, there's the St.
Now the
Petersburg
Peach
Bowl. I mean,
Bowl's a
there's
semifinal game this year.
yeah, I'm just saying like
Yep.
there's so many
Yeah.
in that area, that generic area, that it's just you could catch a bunch of them in a week.
Yeah, I miss the traditional names of them. Like, let me
Yeah.
indulge me. Let me read off a few of these. The Xbox Bowl on December 18th.
The
Okay,
Xbox what bowl? Where is it at? Where are we
the
talking about?
Xbox Bowl. Xbox
That's
Bowl.
it.
That's it.
Okay.
It's at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. Okay. There's
Okay.
the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa, Florida. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans.
It's got to be in Florida.
Boca Raton, yep. We have the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. The Sheridan Hawaii Bowl. The Rate Bowl.
See, the Hawaii Bowl's always been there, though. That's been.
I know, but it wasn't the Sheridan. It was just the
the
Hawaii Bowl.
It was the Aloha Bowl forever.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Aloha Bowl. Yeah.
We have
I've been there.
the Go Bowling Military Bowl between
That's
Pitt and
disgraceful.
ECU this year. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. This is a good one. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Wasabi.
Grew up playing Fenway Park at this time of year. Like that's
And the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
That's good, dude. Yeah, it's all legal down there. He's good. He's good. Yeah.
Obviously, the one that's near and dear to my heart this year, the Pop Tarts Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, they already put the Pop-Tarts in the trophy. Yeah, at the press conference. That was cool.
which baffles. Why are you doing the press conference on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know. I
When's the
think
game?
most of the team's traveling out tomorrow, actually, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, the list goes on. Like the Kinder's, like the barbecue sauce, Kinder's Texas Bowl, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Like,
Yeah, it's we are witnessing the end, and it's been a long end. Like, for people
Tony
to
the
think that,
Tiger's Sun Bowl.
yeah, dude. Like I said, dude, it hasn't been
thing, though. That Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl has always been a thing.
the Tony
Has
the
it?
Tiger has been, yes,
It was just the
absolutely,
Sun Bowl.
yeah.
Just the Sun Bowl, right?
No, they've had a
Tony
sponsor.
the Tiger's been a sponsor for that for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, the Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl.
They've been a sponsor of that as well.
What
But
was
yeah, I get where you're
not the
going.
title sponsor, like
It's all corporate, right? Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're witnessing the end of this. I don't know what it's going to be. Whether we go to an NIT.
It was the Capital One Bowl before they made it the Citrus Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
I think as a player, Kyle, the bowl that I would love to play in, the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
So bad.
The Dukes are going to get mayoed in Eugene this weekend. Just throwing that out there. So, yeah, I'll be there. I'll send you guys some pictures and some videos.
Hey,
from
whichever
Mockingbird.
team wins this week, good luck to you. You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need. We are. Hey, Texas Tech is a real football team. Absolutely, and I'm not overlooking them at all. It's nice. We're gonna have all three wide receivers getting to run routes together for the first time since like week 3. So it'll be a nice little tune-up practice game against JMU. It'll be fun.
Yes, it will. Oh, good times. Good times.
It'll be a fun weekend as I read the newspaper for the score results on Sunday.
First of all, if you read the newspaper, that'll be. I'm calling bullshit on that.
I'm going to go out and buy a newspaper. I am not tuning into any of these games this weekend.
Yeah, you're not buying a newspaper, John. No, I'm calling bullshit. I mean, you might now that I said it, but yeah,
I'm 100% now. 100% now. I'm going to buy one, and I will have it here next week. I'll be like, I didn't watch any of these games. The only one that, because it also helps that I got stuff going on Saturday, but like the only one that I would potentially watch that I'm available to be is that James Madison, Oregon one at 7:30 at night. Like,
no, it's 4:30. It's 4:30 Pacific time.
Yeah, like I don't need
our time.
I don't need to see James Madison get rolled like a high school team playing Alabama. Like, I don't need to see that. So just go out and get business done.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully we'll go do work. It won't be too rainy. So, dude, I don't like the NFL playing games on Saturday, dude. Come on, guys. Like, literally, just play games on Sunday where you belong until the college football season's done, and let people watch everything.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
discussion for another day, but I'm also not too high on the NFL playing games on Thursdays. You think
I don't mind
about that,
it.
a
For my
short turnaround time.
I don't mind the Thursday stuff. I like that they have a game
They
on Thursday.
schedule it in, right, to their schedule for the most part. They screwed up a couple times, but
Yeah, we're like,
they almost given teams like a mini bye in addition to their regular bye.
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
last year, I can't remember which team it was, but I think they played 3
It's-
games in the space of like 11 days.
I think it was the Chiefs, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think
like
it was the Chiefs.
with how violent of a game this is, you need some time to like rest and
Yeah,
like
that was a mistake. That was definitely
recoup,
a scheduling
and
mistake.
to play even on a Sunday and then play immediately on Thursday. You've got travel time in there. You've got
Thing is, every team has to do it, so it's not like they're
I know,
singling out one
Right.
team.
Right.
I know, but
At
but I
some point, every team
I
has to
hate
do it.
it. I hate it. Just Sundays and Mondays. Maybe have multiple Monday night games. Get rid of the Thursday night game. Leave that
Well,
for leave
I
that
don't
for
think
college football.
I don't think they're going to change that because one, there's not very many good college football games now scheduled on Thursdays anymore, like there used to be.
Yeah.
Two, because it's on Prime, so many people can watch it, and that's where they're getting it. The viewership for those Thursday night games is off the charts.
Yeah.
So it's hard to justify not having a Thursday night game in the NFL anymore.
And they're just now figuring out the broadcast. They're still working through those bugs. It's like
That
they
first
got
year was
they got
bad.
two dudes who know what they're doing. Even though I think Al Michaels is in his twilight years. I love Al Michaels to death, dude. He's the unsung OG of broadcasters. Nobody talks about Al Michaels, man,
Do you
and he's
believe
been
in
around.
miracles? Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So I mean, yeah, and Herbie's figuring out NFL. I think it took him a bit. He's still got a little ways to come from the college calling because it's different. It just is different.
Yeah.
So
That'll be another episode one of these days where we talk about our favorite broadcasters. Like
I
there's
like
so
that.
many. I mean, Gary Danielson, who was doing who's been on CBS, college football CBS every Saturday. He just retired. He did his
Yep,
final Army Navy game, and I
yep.
think he's doing the
I
Sun
watched
Bowl
it.
his final game. He's a Purdue guy too, so I kind of there's a tie there with him.
I didn't know he was still doing a bowl game. I thought the Army Navy game was it.
No, that was his last Army Navy game.
Oh, okay.
His
Copy.
final game that he's calling is the Sun Bowl, in El Paso. So,
And those broadcasters, dude, those broadcasters are dying. Like people don't understand. Like your Alberts, dude, your Marvin, Kenny Alberts, Gumbles. I mean, just name it. I mean, we can go through Patrick's and all that kind of stuff. But there's just and say what you want. I know, Damien. Here's my Damien you moment. Is I mean, hey, dude, Joe Buck, dude, he's done a great job. He's followed in his dad's footsteps really, really well. I know you don't like it. There's a lot of people that don't like it, but he's done a good job as a broadcaster, professionally speaking, and he's done it across all major sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Keith Jackson, who was one of the best in the West. Like it's just
the best. That
Brent Musburger was always one of my favorite. I know some people
yeah,
can't stand him, but he was one I grew up with, right? Like Brad
right on
Network
track.
is still on CBS. I'm so happy he's still on CBS. Like those are guys I tuned in to listen to. And there's some that are good now, but they're not those guys. Like it's just I can watch a game on mute now because I don't have certain, like I said, that's a whole nother episode for another day
When
because
Keith Jackson representing the sunny western coast of the United States, those type of shit. Yeah, dude, you don't see that anymore. Go ahead.
Yep. Hello Heisman, right? With what's his name? Desmond Howard call that Michigan game, when he took that punt back for a touchdown to basically seal the Heisman over Ohio State. So yeah, good times. We're gonna end this one with the Christmas theme. We kind of talked about it in the beginning, but we're gonna talk about it now. Do you let your kids open a present on Christmas Eve, or do you make them wait until Christmas morning? Danny, you're the grandpa, so what are you gonna do?
Would you like the grandpa theme? All right. Well, basically, I've got a lot of practice at this. So what I did, my fail safe, you got some pre-programmed stuff into that Christmas Eve. So you got Christmas Eve, whether you're baking some cookies, you're doing some houses, whatever. You let those kids open a projected gift in accordance to what you're doing. So we like to do Christmas Eve boxes. So it may have some hot cocoa, some slippers, some house stuff, maybe a little nighttime story, whatever. Let them open that gift just to get that out of their system, to put them to bed, to, like I said, once again, wake them up early, to blow them up there. So that was my go-to. So it kind of gets the jitters out of the kids because they want to open some stuff, stockings first thing in the morning, and then after that we hand out gifts.
Nice. John, you mentioned it that let your kids open some on Sunday before you guys leave, but when you get to Kansas, what's the plan there? Do you let them open maybe like a gift from you and Mary, or from like a grandma or grandpa, or do you just say nope, we're waiting until Christmas morning?
Well, for the most part, we've just Christmas morning. However, we will do the traditional like Christmas PJs. Like, here, everybody, open them up. Here you go. And kind of that's that. But no, like for me, Christmas is a special time, and as a kid, I'm a Christmas birthday kid. So for me, like Christmas was special. My birthday was at a couple days later, and just being able to like sit there and open up presents around the Christmas tree was just something that meant a lot. So to kind of ruin that by like, hey, the night before, here's a present, and if it was a good present like toys or something like that, you're gonna stay up playing with it, and then what? So we
What's your
we
birthday, John? Sorry to interject, but when's your birthday?
a couple days after, I'll let you do the math.
Okay, the
I don't,
27th.
I don't want I don't want the people on
So
online
that
to date
that's
me.
so that's actually the same birthday as my twin grandchildren.
You're thinking you're 29
Twin,
grandchildren.
twin,
Oh,
His
man.
twin
Okay.
grandchildren. Yeah.
dose. Yeah,
Nice.
dose. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
my first grandchild was born on the 15th, and the twins were born on the 27th. So
Nice. Yeah, it's fun, because there were some Christmases where growing up we traveled, and so we would open up some gifts early and whatnot. But no, I mean, there's just something about Christmas morning, like sneaking out of your room, walking up, like checking under the tree, checking what's what. Okay, what are we gonna get? Ooh, what's in the stocking? Okay, I gotta put everything back perfectly so nobody knows that I got through it, and then you come out and open gifts like when you finally get to. It's just, I don't know, it's just awesome.
that's
Yeah.
that's
I
why
like
I
Christmas.
busted their bubble at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm beating them to that. You ain't checking this shit. I just loaded it, waking you up. Come check it out. Go for it.
Yeah.
I know for if my kids like wake me up early, I will take note, and I will do that when they are parents. I will call them at 3:30 in the morning
Do it.
just to wake them up,
Yeah.
and then go back to bed.
I do
Like,
it. Hey,
just to
I
ruin
do
their
it. So
sleep.
good for you. Absolutely. So how let me just so with your birthday is close to Christmas, like there's a lot of people that hate that. Like how did you juggle that? Like how did your parents, I guess that would be a question for your parents. How did your parents negotiate that with Christmas and birthdays being right there?
This is not a therapy session. This is not a therapy session. No, I mean, it's difficult because like there's some years I felt like, like, hey, yeah, like my birthday's special. Look, we're at Disney World on my birthday, and we're doing this, and we're going out to a nice dinner for my birthday, and it was great. But then there was other years where I was like, oh, this is an afterthought.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
I constantly, and I go back and forth and I battle, like, because I'll get the whole, oh, well, we got you an extra big and expensive present, and we're just combining the two.
Right.
And I'm like, sometimes that's cool. Like sometimes I negotiate it, but like, hey, mom, dad, my birthday's in a couple days. Can I get this for my birthday? And they would, say, yeah, I'll combine it with your birthday or, with your Christmas gifts or, whatever.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it's an honest question. Like, I mean, I know I kind of chuckled, but it's an honest question because I have grandchildren, obviously, that are born in December, and we're kind of juggling those things. Like, we have
yeah,
joint birthday parties, holiday parties, and kind of things. We put it off till January, so I think the kids might actually think their birthdays are in January. Because we usually
yeah.
try to do something, take them all out and, do some cool things for their birthday in January. But when in all reality, their birthdays were
It
before or right at Christmas.
it's tough because, like growing up, like I want to have a big birthday bash with my friends, but
Right.
everybody's on vacation,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
spending time with family. And so like,
January.
we're
I'm
constantly
born
having to do,
January 10th, so I completely understand the same thing. Like,
yeah.
we're
So there
gonna
was,
have a birthday party in January. No, we already blew our money for Christmas.
yeah, as I've gotten older, like I've come to realize, okay, like, hey, it's fine if we like delay the birthday celebration when people get back in town and whatnot. But like,
Right.
the grand scheme of things, like if you can make the day special, whether it's, just like a cake, like this is the therapy session part of it. There were a year or two where there was nobody around for my birthday. One year, like my brother was in the Navy and like his car broke down out in like Southern California somewhere, and my parents left to go help him, and I was at home, for my birthday by myself. So I didn't get a cake, I didn't, anything like that. There was another year where like, yeah, everybody forgot. My mom was working, and late at night we luckily had like one of those like holiday loaf things with icing all over it that one of our neighbors dropped off. So I put a candle in it, lit it, and blew it out myself. Like, there was a couple bad birthdays, but for the most part, like, it wasn't too bad, but like you could kind of tell when, you know, people actually cared versus, oh, yeah, we know it's your birthday. Happy birthday. We kept the Christmas lights up for your birthday. Like,
Yeah, I always blew it off too as just something else, man. Like, it was just like whatever. And maybe that's why I've never, and this ain't no like slash to my parents, or whatever, but maybe I just didn't put a lot of stock into birthdays. So
yeah,
I just passed on my holiday to the Super Bowl in January, and now it's like mid-February. So
yeah.
Nice.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, how about Ellie Duncan retiring today? Like, good for her. No, she didn't retire. She's moving to Netflix, but that was a good send off. Did you guys watch her on SportsCenter today?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, you should. It's a good send off. She did a good job, and she does a great job. I
Who?
think she did a good job. Elle Duncan
No
for
idea who
Sports
that is.
Center. Ellie Duncan for Sports Center. Yeah, just Google it. Go watch it.
I
Yeah,
don't watch
she did a
sports.
good
Like
job.
I haven't really watched Sports Center since, geez, it's been
With years.
10 or 11 years. Like I don't. I turn on ESPN to watch games when they're on, but like other than that, I don't watch any ESPN whatsoever because it's just maybe Scott Van Pelt's Sports Center after a certain game or something. But even then, like it's
I just don't have any credibility with a lot of the ESPN people now. Like that run Sports Center. Like back in the day, like even Linda Cohn was an athlete. She was a goalie, right? Like the people that knew the game and like I trusted, like when I watched that they were going to talk about the game.
Yeah,
Half,
because Dan Patrick was a real big athlete. Like when he
listen, I
started
didn't know that.
broadcasting.
I didn't know
I
that
mean,
at the
he was
time.
a good basketball player, but yeah, come on, man, that's their discussion. He was just trying to give her
No,
some props.
no, but yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
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 Good,
Going to Netflix because Netflix has a whole new sports network they're launching, I guess, is
dude.
kind of where I was going with that. So we'll see
It's
how that
incredible.
ends up. Because
It's incredible what they've
ESPN,
done.
you're absolutely correct, is not doing great by themselves and they're destroying themselves from within. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I get what you're saying about that. It's the mothership, man. That's what we grew up with, dude.
Yep.
Hate to see the
Well,
mothership fall.
100%.
I don't know. I don't
100%.
want to go political, but Mickey Mouse is ruining everything. He ruined Star Wars, Marvel, and now sports.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting a little crazy. So
Stick,
either
stick
way,
to kid movies.
we
Like
still have
just
sports and we still have a good time, and we'll always have the good old days, right? Like that's all there is to it. Like we can still make memories in our own way. So
We are going to make some memories in our own way.
yeah, always
Absolutely.
memories.
Yep.
Memories. Anyways, everybody, thanks for tuning into this episode of the No Sauce Podcast. Remember to hit like and subscribe. I will have a link to the apparel. Get in there, get you something, and support the podcast. We appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in. And for Danny, John, and myself, have a very Merry Christmas.